So don't let anybody physically stop you. There's always somebody who's playing basketball who's short. Right? Or there's always some model that's short. Or there's always somebody who's big on TV that's not more than 4 or 5 feet tall. I mean, I was walking with Sylvester Stallone one time, and he's a short little dude. I even walked with Arnold Schwarzenegger one time with Fabrizio. Remember, we walked with Arnold Schwarzenegger one time, and I walked right alongside him like this, and he was exactly my height, just a little thicker, and I walked like this to make sure I balanced it. I bet if we stopped and humbled ourselves on a daily basis and closed our eyes and went inward to our inner source and said, all right, dear source, dear God, grand organized designer, what do you have here for me to do on this planet? What do you got me to do? I wonder what would happen if we did that on a daily basis. Just as much as we brushed our teeth, just as much as we drank our water and took our vitamins, I wonder what would happen if we humbled ourselves to the infinity of divinity so we can expand ourselves and then bring certainty to humanity. I wonder what we'd do if we would humble ourselves, because I believe that when we go inward and we're thankful for what we've got, we open up the gateway for an inspiring vision that exceeds where we are today. I like to think of it in terms of economics. If you have zero money and you add $1, the value of the dollar is 100%. If you have $10 and you add another dollar, the value is 10%. If you have $100, you add $1, it's 1%. 1,000, 0.1%. 10,000, 0.01%. 100,000, a million. As you accumulate greater degrees of wealth, the value of an additional dollar diminishes. So your motivation to go and earn that dollar becomes less. So if you're going to make, say, $50 to $100 a visit, and you have now large sums of money, what happens is you may have less motivation to go and serve people. So you have the responsibility to continually to expand logarithmically your vision of yourself to compensate for the declining value of the motivation of what you achieve. In other words, there's an inverse relationship there. We have an absolute calling inside us, the soul, that calls us to ever greater heights. It does not put a limit on us. And it doesn't stop there. We don't just have an inborn intelligence in the body. It is a family dynamic. When you study family dynamics and the social dynamics and the topology and in the dynamics of those individuals in a family, you'll see there's a hidden order in a family. Why somebody expresses somebody and somebody represses somebody. Why somebody's playing one role and the other playing the other. And why we have brothers and sisters that are opposites and things. That's not disorder. It's not dysfunction. It's just people who don't understand the order call it dysfunction because they haven't looked deep enough. There's a higher order in it. And it's worthy of love. And once we do, we bring healing to it. Recently, they just found out, Albert Einstein said that there was some sort of a hidden order in Brownian movement many decades ago. And then recently, they just confirmed that to another level. They realized that there really is a hidden order in the molecular configurations and movements in that so-called Brownian movement. That maybe there is some sort of an intelligent design in there. I've been working with human behavior all these years, and I am certain that the dynamics that go on inside the cell, the trillions of molecules that are going on inside the cell that have redox reactions in perfect harmony, are not limited to the cell. That same matrix is going on inside the tissue with all the cells, and going in the organ, and the system, and the human body. The whole body. It's got a magnificent intelligence that's organizing and coordinating that through the master controller of the nervous system. The nervous system is the master controller of all those intricate dynamics sitting there. I wonder if one person can do that. I wonder. Remember, it was Margaret Mead who said, don't ever underestimate the significance of a small group of individuals, because the only thing that ever got anything done in the world was a small group of individuals that had a committed mission that they didn't let anybody stop them from that mission. Now, I wonder what would happen if we took thousands of individuals like today, and we all went out on a mission, and we went out on a vision. And we walked into our office and we saw people in there coming in, inspired, telling and saying, oh, Dr. Demartini, is there any way I can bring my family there? And we held that vision. Dr. Demartini, is there any way you can see my brother-in-law? I have a wife, can you help her? And you see that, and you hold the vision of that. And you see the vision so crystal clear from the time they walk in until they walk out. You see every detail. It's so crystal clear that you're there in it. Because when you're absolutely in there, and you're one with it, and you're present with it, and you're inspired by it, and you love it, and you're grateful for it, and you feel in a sense certain that it's your destiny, then it is impossible to stop the universe from getting the quantum field in your favor to move and manifest that very thing. When I got that test result, I did not want to talk to anybody or see anybody. I just wanted to go cry. I remember running to my car, getting in my car, crying. A little Volkswagen. I remember driving back home. It was about a 30-minute drive, and I pulled off on the side of the road about 3 times because I was crying so hard because I had lost my dream, lost my vision, lost the clarity of what I was to do. And luckily my mother came home to me, came home at that moment. She saw me in there. She saw me crying. She walked in there. She said, "Son, what happened? What's wrong?" I said, "Mom, I blew it. I blew the test. I guess I don't have what it takes. I guess I'll never read or write or communicate. I guess I won't go very far." And I'm sitting there beating myself up and crying, and she looks and puts her hand on me and she says, "Son, whether you become a great teacher, healer, and philosopher and travel the world like you dream, or you go back and be a surfer or a bum that lives on the street, I want to let you know that your father and I are going to love you no matter what, son. No matter what, we're going to love you." And when she said that at that moment, I learned the power of love. You know, Jim Parker talked about the love concept, but I know the love concept. And I know it has the power to transform human physiology. You would never convince me on the face of the earth that's not true. Well, I put my hand into a fist. I closed my fist. I looked up and I saw that vision of me standing up there and speaking before millions of people. And I said to myself, I'm going to master this thing called reading. I'm going to master this thing called studying. I'm going to master this thing called teaching, healing, philosophy. And I'm going to do whatever it takes, travel the distance, and pay whatever price to give my service of love. Well, that was about 33 years ago. And I feel the same way today as I did that moment.